Welcome along, everybody. This is Yoga to Transform. I'm Audrey, and today's practice is a gratitude practice. Gratitude is not about finding new things or doing new things in your life to be grateful, but simply noticing the good things that are going on around you all the time, whether it be outside in the world or within you and in your body. Today we're going to practice focusing on our body and being grateful. So let's get started. If you're in a comfortable seat, stay here. Roll the inner thighs down, the outer thigh up. Go again, inner thigh down, outer thigh up. I'm sitting on a bit of a blanket. You can do that too. Check that your shoulders are over your hips, and it's best that your knees are slightly lower than your hips. Sit up a little bit further on another blanket if you need to make the change. And whether you've done yoga a lot or this is your first time, I want all of us to start with a beginner's mind, imagining that this is the first time that we've been on a yoga mat. This is the first time we've moved our body into different shapes. So let's begin with focusing on our breath. We breathe all the time, many times a minute, which calculates through into many times an hour, many times a day, and you can do the calculations yourself. So just begin to focus, feeling the inhale and the exhale. Maybe you can feel it rising and falling in your body. You may be able to notice in your chest or maybe in your belly, maybe in your side ribs or even in your back, noticing the rise and fall of your body. Noticing the breath, being grateful for the breath. Thank you. We are breathing today. And as you sit here, see if you can lengthen the exhale. So you're going to breathe through the nose. And maybe sigh out the breath out the mouth for a couple of breaths. Let's go again. Breathe in and breathe out. And now just continue breathing in and out of the nostrils. It's not really very complicated, but we can be grateful for every breath we take. Relax your hands back down onto your lap or onto your thighs. And now stretch out your arms wide. Keep the breath flowing as you stretch fingertips wide apart from each other. Stretch the fingertips out towards each wall. Being aware of the space around you. And now wrap the arms around you strongly. Keep the breath flowing. And go again, stretch wide. Take a couple of full deep breaths here. And wrap your arms wide around you. Over the top of each other, right the way around to your back. And stretch wide again. Last time, wrap up. And feel the sensation of your arms and hands and fingers wrapping around you, touching your body, touching each other with the arms. Feel the sensation of that solid body there, breathing. And releasing your hands once more. Coming into a prayer position with your hands. Your hands are a little away from your chest. Elbows released away from the chest as well. Fingertips pressing in towards each other. Fingers wide. And this time we're going to breathe in. And on the out breath, twist around towards the right. Come on back through to centre as you breathe in. And twist around to the left. Breathe back into centre. And twist again, breathe out. Gazing at your fingertips, come back to center, breathe in. Breathe out for the twist. Come back through to center. This time as your hands go round, imagine yourself gazing out into the distance. Maybe there's a wall there, maybe you can imagine what's there outside the wall. Come on back through to center, keep your gaze following yourself round in the room, imagining what's through the wall, being grateful for the things in your house. Come on back through to center, last time. And now take your imagination outside the house, maybe to the street, the apartment where you're living. Come on back through to center and to the other side. What's out there? Maybe sunshine or rain, clouds, maybe footpaths, maybe grass, maybe other people. Come on back through to center, resting here. Being grateful for those things that surround us. Let's breathe in now and gaze up towards the ceiling and breathe out to come on down. Gaze up towards the ceiling and imagine what's beyond the ceiling and the roof. All those other apartments that may be there, come on back down. All that spaciousness above the building, right up into the sky, come on back down. And for the last time, up into the atmosphere, beyond the atmosphere, past our sun and other stars and planets, and of course the universe and beyond. Come on back down. Bring yourself back down. Gaze at your thumbs. Release your hands there and move yourself around so that we can come into tabletop. You might like to move the blanket so that your blanket's under your knees. Coming into hands and knees. Make any adjustments you need to. And come into tabletop, checking in your hips are over your knees. Your shoulders are over your wrist creases. And begin with pushing the belly button up towards the spine and then allowing the belly button to release. Breathing in, belly button draws up. Breathe out, let the belly button release. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in once more. Breathe out. And come to neutral spine. This time, take a look around towards your back foot, one side. Come on back to the center. Look to the other side. This time, extend one foot down and look out to it. And come back to center, bringing the knee back. Go to the other side. Extend the foot back. Look right around. Come on back through to table. This time, lying the feet down so the tops of the feet are on the floor. Stretch your right leg back and then move it over to the left, over the top of your left foot. Stretching around with your head looking to where the left foot is. No, yes, the right foot over the top of the left. And come on back to center. Keeping the feet down, let's do it on the other side. Stretch the left leg back, work it over the top of the right, and look over the right shoulder, looking for that left leg. Bring yourself back through to center, back through to table, and let's take a child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide. Press your hips back and bring yourself down, stacking your head on your hands. Lifting up your head now, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and walk your hands forward to the front of the mat. Now bring your shoulders so that they come over the top of your wrist creases. So here we are in a low plank, and press all the way back now, bringing the hips back towards the heels. And now breathe in and come forward. Notice how all the joints in your body are working. Breathe out, press back. Breathe in, come forward. And breathe out, press back. Breathe in, come forward, and this time come all the way down to the mat. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. You might like to have it underneath you. Come all the way down onto your belly. Begin by stacking your hands and resting your forehead or your cheek on your hands. Allow the whole body to be resting on the floor, noticing the floor or the mat touching you, your body, or the parts of your body that are touching the floor. Lifting up your head, come back to your breath now as you move your elbows underneath your shoulders and your hands are coming up towards the front of the mat, fingers spread wide. Take your feet wide as well, either side of the mat, and press the tops of the feet down into the mat. As we stretch through the belly, we can be grateful for all the food we've eaten today, or the food we are going to eat today, or maybe even the food we ate yesterday. The water we drank, and the processes of our body that allow us to absorb the nutrients and then eliminate the waste. Gently bring your hands back underneath your forehead and lower your forehead down again. Lifting up your head again, bring your hands underneath your shoulders this time, tuck your toes under and bring yourself back up into table. Walk the knees forward as you need to, and let's come through for cow and cat. Breathe in and let the chest come between the arms. Breathe out and draw the belly button up. Come back to neutral spine. I'm going to talk you through coming into a low lunge through downward facing dog, but feel free to just bring the right leg forward however you'd like to. Coming up into downward facing dog, tuck the toes underneath, spread your fingers wide, rotate the hands out a little so the first finger's pointing towards the top of the mat, and lift up the knees, pressing the hips back, keeping the knees bent as you gently begin to walk the dog, bending one knee generously, letting the other heel release. Come through to stillness and lift up the right leg in the air, bringing it all the way forward, helping it as you need to, coming into the low lunge. Bring that knee forward, hands onto the thigh. Bring your hands into the air and swirl them back behind you, now coming into aeroplane arms. Coming upright and clasping your hands together and either dragging them down, the knuckles down, or turning the hands all the way around, coming into prayer position. If you are in prayer position, you can fold forward, hinging through the hips to gaze down. Come back upright. Release the hands to the front thigh. and make your way to the other side, coming with me for downward facing dog. Bring your hands to the floor, lift up the back knee and step back, keeping the knees bent, walking the dog once more. Lifting up the left leg this time, bringing it all the way forward, using your hands to help, coming into that low lunge, bringing the front knee over the front ankle, hands to the front thigh, hands into the ear. Flow your hands behind you now, hinge forward, aeroplane arms. And come upright now, either clasping your hands together behind you or turning your hands all the way round into prayer. Opening up through the chest. Hinging forward as you're ready, bowing down. And unwinding, coming upright, releasing the hands to the floor and coming back into table. Come all the way down into child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide. Bring yourself down. Head resting on the floor or on your hands. Taking a moment to think of all the bodily systems that work to make sure your muscles move, your blood flows, all the hormones are delivered around your body, being thankful for the way that your brain operates everything, the way that your gut works, all the nerve pathways, your senses, the 5 traditional ones, plus your sense of balance, your sense of direction, your sense of being in space. Where are you? Where is your body? Lift up your head, place your hands on the floor and come up to a high kneeling position. You may like to tuck your toes under. And this time we're going to reach up with our left hand into the ear and reach back with the right hand to touch the ankle or the foot. Gazing up, imagining what's through the roof, the ceiling, the other buildings around you. Imagine looking right up into the sky. Thankful for the light, for the atmosphere to keep us protected from space. Release that top hand, coming on back down to hands on your hips. And swap to the other side. One hand reaches into the ear, other hand reaches back for the heel. Keeping the hips facing the front or the short edge of your mat. Keep the breath flowing. And release your hands to your hips. Coming on down to the mat, this time coming back to seated with your legs out in front of you. Bring your right leg in and hug it tight. Sit up tall. Bring your left hand to your right shin and your right hand to the floor, twisting all the way around. See things from a different perspective. Take the opportunity to be grateful for what you can see in this direction, either in your room or outside or beyond. In my house, this is the north direction I'm looking. North of here is the North Island of New Zealand. And beyond that, a lot of ocean. Gently unwind, coming back to centre, releasing that foot down. Draw the left leg in now. Hug it in tight. Keep the breath flowing. Place your left hand on the floor and hug in to the left shin, twisting around towards the left. Northeast of here, there's a whole lot more ocean. Maybe the Chatham Islands, and then South America. Grateful for all that ocean, all the life that swims in the ocean, all the food that we can get from the ocean, the way the ocean allows the earth to be temperate. So much to be grateful for. Unwind, release, let that leg come down, maybe roll the legs together. Coming in now to lying on the mat, maybe with the blanket underneath you or a support for your head. Coming on down to lying with your feet on the floor and your knees in the air. Take your feet out wide and come into window wipers. So take a movement. You might like to put your hands into strong person movement. So you've got your elbows bent, the backs of your hand lying on the floor. And next time your knees are in the center, stop the movement. Coming up this time to bring your knees towards your chest, one hand in each, one knee in each hand. Bring the knees closer in towards you, giving yourself a bit of a squeeze and let them release. Bring them in closer towards you and take them out. And bring them in close and take them out. Place your knees, your feet on the floor, and either let your knees knock in together or stretch your legs long. We'll take a moment or two just to be grateful for the things that we've done today, the things that we've noticed. Soften your gaze, come back to your breath. Feel free to pause the video here if you'd like a longer Shavasana or relaxation. Otherwise, as you feel ready, begin to stretch and move through your hands and feet. Maybe bringing the knees in, rolling from side to side, before rolling to one side or the other. Taking a breath or two, before using the strength of both your hands and arms to press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Please like, subscribe and share, and do this practice as and when you need to remember that you can be grateful for simply breathing in and out. Namaste.